You can't put a drink in your hand. It's only Monday morning. Make it a coffee. Eric Church, welcome back to Good Day, Colorado. 8:41 now on this Monday morning. He was an Olympic wrestler in the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, South Korea. And now Ken Chertow is a wrestling coach. And he's here in Denver this week teaching kids all about wrestling. And he joins us this morning. And Coach, we were just talking that you've actually taken a break from the kids today to come join us.
Yeah, I slipped away. We start in about 45 minutes, so as soon as we're done talking, I'm going to jump back on the highway, get through traffic, and jump on the mats.
Tell us a little bit about some of the scandal that broke a while ago about the Olympics pulling wrestling as part of their summer events. This just seemed ridiculous given the fact that wrestling goes back all the way to the times of when the Olympics first started.
Yeah, well, ridiculous sums it up. It's definitely a terrible situation. A lot of international politics involved. The international governing body was having some friction with the IOC, and some of the Western European countries kind of got against the wrestling. But when it was all said and done, USA, Iran, Russia, and many other countries, basically every country in the world got together and said, let's keep wrestling. So when the whole IOC committee got together and voted, it was voted to keep in. And USA Wrestling, based here in Colorado Springs, played a huge role in promoting the sport and getting the international governing body organized to keep wrestling in the Olympics. And we're here to stay. We're staying in the Olympics.
See, and I think a lot of people were shocked first when they heard the news that the wrestling aspect might be disappearing. What was your original take? This is where you made your bread and butter. This was the goal.
Oh, my instinct, I remember I was driving over a mountain in Oregon. I was going to a clinic, and when my wife told me, you know, it just happened that hour, I immediately picked up the phone and called USA Wrestling. Rich Bender's the director of USA Wrestling, said, how can I help? What can I do? Next thing you know, there was a TV station in Oregon talking about it. I mean, it was a national effort and international effort to promote our sport and tell our story. And it was a wake-up call to keep wrestling the sport. So A, sick in the belly, B, what am I going to do? And I played a small role in helping, but many people, USA Wrestling and the International Governing Body for Wrestling, worked hard to keep wrestling Olympics, and they righted a wrong decision.
Well, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. Now, back in 1988, take us back to that day on the mat.
It was a culmination of a life's work. I mean, I'd gone to high school dreaming about getting successful. I watched the Olympics on TV in '84 in Los Angeles. And then I was the youngest guy on the team. I was a junior at Penn State, and it was just an awesome experience to get out there in front of everybody, everybody yelling USA, USA. It was just really exciting. Competed against France, Bulgaria, Mexico, a number of other countries. This is something I'll remember forever. It was a great experience and very positive, and I try to share the motivation with the children I work with today.
Well, tell us a little bit about why you're in Denver, because you said you do these wrestling camps nonstop. So wrestling is still a big aspect of kids growing up today.
Wrestling's a great aspect. It's huge in Denver. I mean, the Rocky Mountain National is a national organization that's here in Denver that is run by a guy named Ed Gutierrez, and he promotes wrestling nationwide, but brings huge tournaments to Denver. So wrestling is growing. Whether there's Olympic wrestling or not, there's always going to be youth and high school wrestling here in the United States. It's a very popular sport for all ages. I mean, anybody can do it. Tall, short, lanky, rich, poor. Anybody can wrestle. So it's going great. As for my camps, yeah, I run around 25 different cities during the course of the country, spend a few days at each camp, surround myself with a great staff. Like yesterday, Rulon Gardner, Olympic gold medalist, was here in Denver teaching. And then Tuesday night, tomorrow night, Brandon Slay, Olympic champion. He's the head coach of the Olympic team based in Colorado Springs at the USA Wrestling Training Center, Olympic Training Center. Brandon Slay, the Olympic champ, he'll be here tomorrow night at 6:30. So I surround myself with great men, a lot of dedicated people. And I've been here in Denver for a decade. We have a really good thing going here at the hotel on the north side of the city, Westminster Hotel.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of kids who are excited to see you. I was telling him my stories about wrestling, and they were quick. I told him I was part of the fastest pin. I think it could still be the record at Evergreen High School, Jen, but I wasn't on the winning side of that. This guy pinned me, I think, in 11 seconds, maybe? I mean, it was
I told you not to tell the folks.
I'm just trying to be honest, Jen. I'm just trying to be honest. I was a terrible 8th grade wrestler.
He tried to protect you, Ken. Hey, I'm from Iowa, so I have an appreciation for wrestling.
I'm from the South. You're big wrestling. Yeah.
Ken looks like he'd be a decent wrestler, don't you think?
He does. Oh,
Guess it didn't work out.
Well,